and it don't want to sit still. Will you sit still for like, oh, there we go. Sorry. You know my name, you know what I talk about, you know what I stand for, you know why you're here. Whatever the case may be. Always remember, if it resonates, let it marinate. And if it doesn't resonate, thank you for stopping by. If you do not know how to find self-love, I will assist you in the way that I did it, the steps that I took, how I moved. Cool. Joe, you gotta stop moving. My dog's my stand for now. Number one, if you are trying to find self, I feel like everyone, first of all, I feel like everyone needs to at least take a moment. If you see this video right now, you need to take a moment and ask yourself, do you know what self-love is? Do you have self-love for yourself? And if you do not, if you do, congratulations. And if you do not have self-love for yourself, if you don't know if you have self-love for yourself, if you have to question if you have self-love for yourself, you don't. But essentially, if you do not know, you do not have, you may have love for yourself, but having self-love for yourself means respecting yourself in all aspects of your life, saying no when you need to, not just accepting things that because you feel you have to, or not knowing how. Don't be a yes man. Shit, I'm sorry. Gosh, sometimes I just get frustrated within myself. But first things first. So when I was on trying to find my little self-love thing, number one, I am going to be completely honest. I'm a big writer. I started writing. And the reason I started writing is because I love just putting my notes down on paper. So I wrote down every single thing that I did for people, friends, family members, just people on the street. Like if I would like see someone on the street and I gave them money, I would write down all of these things, right? And I would just start being very appreciative of the traits that I possess. Because not a lot of people carry the same traits as you. So not a lot of people that I know especially are as giving, especially to someone who's homeless on the streets. There are so many people in my life, I would be in the car with them and I'll see someone, long story short, I didn't know many people who would be giving to someone who's homeless on the street. I didn't know too many people who were as open as I was, to the point where it's like, I'm an open book, so I can relate to pretty much anyone on any aspect, in a sense where if I tell you my story and if it hits you and you like, damn, you know, like we'll get along, you know, I'll be there for you, love you and support you. I'm just like, I started to realize I was an embodiment of a lot of things that a lot of people around me wasn't, so I was able to appreciate those things about me, and I was like, well, damn, that's really, really, really cool. Another thing with finding self-love, well, this isn't another thing. I'll get into that just a little bit later on. But also, another thing that I did. So besides writing down all of the amazing attributes that you possess, because it's different for everyone. I'm not going to tell you what I did, but just write down all of the amazing attributes that you have done for people, and also the amazing attributes and qualities that you possess within yourself. You know, like, how are you giving? Are you caring? Are you kind? Are you compassionate? Do you have empathy for others? Do you have empathy for yourself? And a lot of people don't understand that. When I say, do you have empathy for yourself? I get this a lot. A lot of people will be like, well, I'm miserable, or, you know, I feel like a failure. I feel like I've done this, or I've done that in my past. And the one thing I always tell them is that, why does it matter? You know, you've been through whatever you've been through in your past for a reason. It's helped you to become who you are today. And who you are today isn't supposed to be someone who's worried about the failures that you had in the past. The person that you are today is supposed to be someone who can look back at the past and see what the mistakes that you have made, so that you don't make those same mistakes today. Not about the future, not about the past, but today. And I saw something else today on Instagram, and it really stuck with me. It said that the future does not exist. And a lot of people have heard this, but it also stated that the future is right here, right now. There's no tomorrow, there's no yesterday. Every single thing that you want to happen happens to you right now, because right now is the only moment you ever have. So when you're sitting over here thinking about the future, you know, tomorrow, this, that, and the third, who you are, and the mindset that you have right now is going to be that exact person unless you make that change right now. I hope that resonates and it can help somebody in that sense. So that was another thing that I did. Also, another thing that I did with finding self-love, I really started catering to me. I started telling everybody named Mama no. And this is gonna get a little bit personal. Even if I felt urges, I still told people no. Even if I if somebody wanted something, and usually I would tell people no. I indulged in me. I indulged in the things that I did. And this is gonna be different for everyone, but like I'll just give you a few. I indulged in the devil's lettuce. I indulged in Epsom salt baths. I indulged in just a lot of things that really just made me happy and feel good. And it really did help. Also, I do want to make a little note. If you do have animals, because a lot of people have animals, pay attention to your animals. And the reason I'm saying this is because while I was trying to find love for myself, I really started paying attention to my animals. I have a dog and a cat. I started paying attention to my animals and just how much I was able to learn from them of just being at peace with life and like letting life flow and just enjoying what it is that you have. If you can sit there and be grateful for every single thing that you have in your life right now, like I just go. I would literally wake up in the morning like, I'm so grateful for my animals. I'm so grateful for the fact that I have food in my refrigerator. I'm so grateful for the fact that I have clothes in my closet. I'm so grateful for the fact that I have food for my animals. I'm grateful for the fact for water. I'm grateful for the fact that I have the opportunity to live my life, not the opportunity, but the strength to live my life the way that I want. I just start naming a lot of things that I'm grateful for. A lot of things in your life will really start to change, I promise you. Do these things and it will help you. It will help you find appreciation for yourself. It will help you find that gratitude that you desperately need in this lifetime so that you can go out and achieve the greatest things that you've always wanted to achieve. Now, I do want to say this because I am on a spiritual journey. I know right now there are so many people who are probably going on a spiritual journey, whether that is by force, whether that is by your own free will and or choice. Because I also get this as well, spiritual journeys, what does that entail? Because a lot of people still look at me like I'm just some figure. People who knew me for years, they look at me like I'm just like some weird ass and just whatever. To each his own. I do want to say this. If you are embarking, like I said, whether it's by force, whether it's by choice, understand this is not going to be an easy journey. This is not going to be something that's cookies and creams. You will have to face your deepest, darkest fears. You will have to face things that you do not want to face. You will have to go down roads that you thought you would never go down. And when I say that, it's because a lot of times when you go on a spiritual journey, and here's another thing. People don't really realize this, and I'm not even trying to be funny. A lot of people don't realize a spiritual journey, sometimes you don't have a choice. Like, you don't have a choice. And I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't have a choice. I wasn't perfectly fine living my life the way that I was living it, but I knew something needed to change. Hence, in fact, in 2017, my spiritual journey started. And it was terrifying as fuck. I didn't know what was going on, but I went with it. I surrendered to it, and it's honestly the most eye-opening thing that I have ever went through. I've been able to see so many things. I've been able to learn so many things. I've been able to gain so much knowledge, and I've been able to see things from a different perspective. Like, I can't tell you how much shit I'm able to just look at and just be like, okay. Keep it pushing, and it's just, for me, what it is and what it has become. I do want to say this, and this is why I wanted to say this, because of what's going on in the world. And there are so many people who are experiencing tower moments. If you don't know what a tower moment is, by the way, I use a lot of my language comes from my tarot cards. I love my tarot cards. So a tower moment means it's an ending. So a lot of people are going through endings right now, whether it's a job, whether it's relationships, whether it's family ties, just a lot of endings that you are accustomed to. There's a couple of things I want you to remember if you are going through endings right now. Number one, if you are being forced in an ending, and we all know what I mean when I say you're being forced in an ending. And the reason I put so much force behind that word, forced during an ending, is because if you truly know something isn't good for you, yet you still choose to indulge in it, still choose to stay in it, but God, universe, whoever you believe in, is offering you a way out and you choose not to take it, understand this. When God steps in, the universe steps in, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice how things happen, how things move. When God tells you it's time to go, you better move. And if you don't move, trust me, it's going to be painful. For you, the other people involved, the situation involved, just the whole circumstance, mainly for you. Because at the end of the day, it's everything in your life happens for you. It's not for anyone else outside of you, but for you. So if you're going through an ending or a tower moment and you are trying not to, if something's going on in your life that you know you need to let go in, whatever, I've been there. Trust me. I used to hold on to so much stuff that I should not have held on to. I should have let shit go a long time ago. And it hurt me in the process. Let it go so that you ultimately do not receive that lesson of... Some people have to go through lessons the hard way. Some people have to go through lessons the hard way. You don't want to be one of those people that has to go through a life lesson where you were forced into that life lesson. Choose your life lessons wisely. And if you can't, I pray to God you make it through on the other side, because some people just ain't able. Like I said, with everything that I say and or do, I hope it touches someone in a way that it can help better progress your life so that you can become the best version of you. Always be choosing to live the best version of yourself. Always be choosing to be positive. Always be choosing to love not only yourself but others as if you would want to be loved. And if you have people around you who are not treating you equally, who are not giving you the things that you need so that you can prosper, so that you can thrive, so that you can be the best version of yourself, reevaluate your situation. No one's telling you to leave your situation. Just reevaluate it and make the necessary adjustments so that you can be happy just as the people around you. Point blank in the period.